This is big breaking news. People are reporting and people are concerned in multiple different states about a mysterious substance that is appearing on their car, on their homes, on their windows. People are worried and people are getting this substance tested because it is corroding things like their wheel wells, all right? Their rims of their car. It's corroding metal on their car as well too, and they're also breathing it in. So let's get into all the details here really quick, guys. Please just hit that like and hit that subscribe. I'm posting multiple videos every day, keeping you guys updated on this big news, and it just helps to get these alerts out so people know what's going on. All right, so we have people just from all over the country are reporting about this weird, mysterious dust that is coating their car. And this happened right after this quote dust storm. Okay, there was this massive dust storm. I don't know where this dust really came from. It's not like because previously during these dust storms, they say, oh, this is like from the Sahara Desert and it blew all the way across the ocean, the Atlantic Ocean over here, and it's blowing dust here. This dust storm started in Texas, all right? And it is dusty there, but I don't know how this much dust and particulate, if it is dust, is in the air. And look at this stuff, right? This is a picture coming out of Michigan. This is what somebody said. They said that they have been spraying all day and have announced tornado warnings in Michigan. And now this stuff is falling out of the sky. It's covering their car. And people are concerned, right? Look at this other picture here. This one is from Colorado. This is happening all over the place. And it's weird because it's like raining and there's all these weather events, but then your car is getting coated with this weird dust, right? So the rain, people are saying the rain is leaving these stains on their car. They're saying, oh, normally the rain washes my car clean, but now it's been making my car dirtier than ever, right? So what exactly is going on? I saw someone saying, oh, this is like smart dust or nano dust, something like that. Nothing confirmed, but that's just what people were speculating online. It could be anything, right? But it's weird and it's strange, and people are saying they're going to wipe this dust off and get it tested. Let me know down below if you have seen this stuff on your car. This is a picture from Central Ohio. It says Central Ohio yesterday evening. It says, been waiting all day to get off work so I can go to the car wash and get whatever this is off my car. And it says, after entering and leaving the car, I thoroughly washed my hands. It's white and powdery, whatever it is. Right? These are dozens and dozens of people reporting this. It's not normal. Here's another person. They said, we had brown muck all over our cars yesterday in northern Illinois after weeks of intense spraying, which caused extreme swings in our weather from nearly 80 degrees to 40 degrees with 1 to 2 inches of snow on the ground this morning, right? These weird weather systems can happen, but I've been seeing some stuff too. Even today, it was like nice, sunny out, beautiful morning. And then by noon, the skies were covered. And it's not normal, okay? Like, I live out in the middle of nowhere. There should not be any planes flying over me, all right? There are no flight patterns or paths or anything like that. And it's the most ridiculous patterns too. It's like X's all over the place. X's all over. How is a plane is flying? They're both flying. And sometimes it's like straight up in the air. They're not going anywhere. Okay, that's my point. These planes that you see this stuff, these trails behind it that they just claim as contrails, even though there's admitted programs called stratospheric aerosol injection where they release sulfur dioxide and they block out the sun. And then there's also cloud seeding programs all over the country. Almost every state has it, and there's federal programs as well too. And it's just so obvious. It's like this plane is not flying anywhere, and they go back and forth. I see the same planes over and over, just like going back and forth, and they're not on radar. That's the other thing too that is so weird, is that dozens of planes flying over me, all day, but they're not on the radar. How are they able to? It's weird. It's like, how are they able to do this? Is it a government program? I don't know. Is that how they're able to skirt the rules? But most of the time, 9 out of 10 times when I check the planes, it's not on the radar. Someone said, I'm in Wisconsin. My car was covered with this stuff also. Someone also reported that there was stuff going on in Roswell, Georgia. Another person said that this was happening to them in the Carolinas, all right? Another person reported in Northeast Florida. They're saying this stuff is all over our cars, right? Another person said same thing happened here in Nebraska yesterday. These are comments all within the past few hours. That comment, same thing happened here in Nebraska 8 hours ago, right? AJ the Jeweler said this on X/Twitter. Here's another comment. It was worse here in Illinois. I literally had to take my car through the car wash because it looked like I had gone off-roading, and it just sat in a parking lot all day. The rain should not be that dirty, right? So weird stuff. I haven't really noticed because my truck's just always like dirty anyways, honestly. It's always like covered in mud and dust and crap anyways, because I live on a dirt road, and it's dirt road for miles to even get to my house, okay? So I don't know if it's been happening here or not. I really can't tell, but it might have been. I don't know. That's what it looks like, though. All these cars, it looks like these people are like, they live out in the country and they're driving on dirt roads, and it's a little wet and muddy and splattering everywhere and dusting up everywhere. That's what it looks like. But these people are saying they live in the city. They're not going anywhere. These are like normal cars, right? This isn't like, these aren't even like trucks or anything. These are just little cars. And they're covered in the stuff, right? So what's going on exactly? Here's another comment. Someone said, this is Steve Thornton. He said, I had a similar situation happen in Richmond, Virginia. There was a fine dust all over the car, and it caused pigmentation in the aluminum wheels. It had to have corrosive elements in the fallout. It's out of control. That's something that I have seen before, is like weird little spots on the rims of the tires, right? Sometimes you can spray them out or buff them out, but that's something I have noticed for too, these weird little, that almost, yeah, cause corrosion on the metal, right? What's that about? What exactly is in this dust that it could be causing it? Some people have reported that it's magnetic as well too. Some people are able to like scoop a magnet across their car, and a lot of this dust will stick to it and track to it, right? I don't know if that's true or not, but that's what people are reporting. Sometimes they could just stick to it because dust just is sticky, but weird, right? If it is magnetic, why is it magnetic? And I remember last year when there was this weird dust storm as well too. They said it was from the Sahara. That time, now it's just like, it's just natural in the US. We just have these like dust bowl storms out of nowhere. But I remember there was a lot of stories saying that, hey, it's magnetic. And it kind of reached a tipping point in the media where they had to respond to it. And they were saying, I remember the story, the cover was like, oh, it has iron, iron. I cannot say this word good. Sorry, guys. IRON. If you don't know what I'm saying. Iron, like particulate in it from like the sand in the Sahara, right? They're saying, oh, this sand in the Sahara has like a high level of magnetic or iron in it that is magnetic, right? I don't know. Could be true. I don't know. That's why it's weird that these things are happening. We don't really know what's going on. Somebody needs to test this dust and this particulate, see what it is, because there could even be natural things happening, and then maybe somebody's taking advantage of it. Maybe they're amplifying it. All right, that's what happens a lot of times. Is I made a whole video last year how in California, Santa Barbara County, where they had a massive bomb cyclone in California, which is essentially just like a hurricane, okay? But it was in like the winter time, and it was in the Pacific. where they typically don't have hurricanes. So they pretty much call it a bomb cyclone. Look just like a hurricane. It's a rotating storm system that brings tons of rain. And they admittedly, right, I made a whole video on it showing the documents and everything, cloud seeded this bomb cyclone. Okay, I think it happened actually maybe 2 years ago now, in January, or maybe it was January last year. It was January last year or January 2023. Can't remember off the top of my head, but they cloud seeded this bomb cyclone. Admittedly, it's in the documents. You probably just find it if you like searched Santa Barbara County cloud seeding bomb cyclone, something along those lines. And they made the system more severe, right? And this caused entire communities to be flooded out, right? There was like an entire farm community where it's kind of built in this valley. It's kind of a low area. That's how a lot of these like farm communities are out west. They're kind of in these low end valleys where the water kind of accumulates and trickles down, so they can grow there. All right, it's not as deserty and dry, but they had so much rain that it reformed the lake bed. Right, it's like a giant lake bed, this valley essentially, and it flooded the valley, and then now it's like a lake. Okay, the entire valley, huge valley, but there hasn't been a lake there for like over 100 years, and partially due to like dams and like river systems, ditch systems being implemented, things like that, like gates, water gates and stuff like that, preventing the water from getting all the way there because they use it for agriculture and things like that. But this entire community washed away, floated away in California after they did this cloud seeding of this bomb cyclone. This keeps happening, guys. All right, what's going on here? It's like community and town after town. They're almost just like forgotten. Okay. Roswell, New Mexico, a few months ago, devastated from fires and then mudslides. Weeks later, after all the ground was burned out, there was major storms and mudslides that washed it all out because there was nothing else holding the ground in place after all the trees and everything, shrubs burned. All right. What about Lahaina? All right. What about Pacific Palisades? All right. Malibu over there. What about East Palestine, Ohio? Taking it way back here. All right. There's been town after town. What about Western North Carolina? Chimney Rock and Asheville and surrounding areas. It's been town after town. It's like overwhelming. Like it's almost like there's been so much of it that people become numb to it. It's just like, okay, it's another one. It's not even like a big story anymore. It's just like whatever. The town's gone. It's barely a big story anymore when a F4 tornado destroys an entire town. All right, this just happened last week. You barely hear about it on the mainstream news. So it's becoming normalized too. That's my point here, is that don't allow it. Don't become numb to these stories. Okay, these are important stories and big stories that people need to know about. Right? So don't let yourself become numb and overwhelmed, because we need to bring these things to the spotlight, all these different towns, so they can get the help they need. All right, get the federal funding. And FEMA's overwhelmed right now too. All right, think about it. They're just every week now, the past few months, they've been dealing with a crisis like this. So please hit it up for me down there, guys, to help get these alerts out, get these warnings out. Let me know down below if you've seen this dust or not, and what you think it is. All right, is it like a byproduct of some type of geoengineering program? Did they spray too much like sulfur dioxide for a stratospheric aerosol injection program, which blocks out the sun? They admittedly do this, guys. There's thousands of documents. And did they just spray too much of this and it just ended up creating like acid rain or something along those lines, and the rain is just like polluted with this junk. Let me know what you think. Is it just natural? I don't know. What's going on here? Let me know your theory down below. Hope you guys are staying safe, staying prepared out there. I hope you have big blessings for your life, your family, and I hope you have a big old blessed day.